Hello Connect groups. It's session 4, the last in this short series on notes from the peripheries. These thinking about moments in between those big well-known stories from scripture. And this week we're going to be looking at Jesus, the story of his time on earth at the beginning of the New Testament, and the in-between story, in a sense, is us between his ascension and return. And that's what we're going to be thinking about today. I'm on my walk to work, and this is like a every morning routine for me. Normally I'm cycling a lot quicker. Today I'm walking. It's giving me some more time to think, to listen to these beautiful waves. And what I realise is this is an in-between moment in my life. Every day, you know, I have the moment of waking up, being with the family, and then I leave the house. By 9, I'm at work, and it's the next bit of the story. But in between, there's this. And it can feel like not much happens in these moments. But what this walk to work has taught me over lockdown and the last few months is that God is in these quiet moments where you might not necessarily see it immediately. You might not be trained to recognize God in that moment, and yet there he is. Yeah, in this example, in the beauty of the sea. And I think that that's something that would be important to train ourselves in, to recognize the divine in those in-between moments. And it's not about God doing any more, but it's about our attention. And that's what we're going to think about today.
Who is your favourite disciple? Most folk probably don't have a favourite at all. I don't even know the names of all the 12. But those nerdy enough to have thought about it would probably pick one of those 12, wouldn't they? No one's going around saying Cleopas, are they? No one goes around saying Dorcas is their favourite disciple. Even less so are they saying Cleopas's friend, who doesn't even get a name in Scripture, despite their prominent role in the last chapter of the book of Luke. We sometimes even forget that Jesus had disciples other than the main 12. We forget too that we who come after are also called Christ's disciples. We still follow him as our direct teacher. We've said that this series is about celebrating the lesser reported stories and characters of the Bible. Today, I want to extend that out further. I want you to think about what role you play in God's big story, and perhaps the disciples who helped you to a revelation of Christ, who have gone unsung and unrecognised. I want us to see how God is not done, and how, for as deep as we can go into the backwaters of Scripture and history and find God at work, we can look outward to our lives and our world and see God there too. The charge Jesus gave us as his disciples is to be the thread that leads from the promise in the Bible to the world out there. The question is, how does your life tell that story? The passage we read today featured a disciple none of us probably remembered the name of, and another who doesn't even get a name, and yet they serve a pivotal role in the story of faith being built amongst the disciples after Christ's death and resurrection. Just as I have learned to recognise God's blessing in my morning cycle to work. I pray that as we serve, people would see Jesus. It would be like how the disciples in the story suddenly saw Jesus. May we serve so wholeheartedly that our names not matter as the story of Christ's victory grows. I want you to discuss in your groups how you each individually have seen Jesus modelled in the people who have supported you in your faith journey. But think too about your unique contribution to God's big story. Where do you serve? Is there more that Jesus asks of you? At work, I'm painting a mural for our residents, covering up a patch of broken masonry and bringing some colour into the scheme. I've been working on designs based on my residents' ideas and praying God will use it like he used Dorcas's talents to express Jesus and lead people to faith. I am expectant and hopeful that as you discuss and explore, that you will discover the many unique ways in which being a disciple manifests in your group. Encourage each other as you continue Christ's mission here in God's beautiful world. And I'll see you soon. Bye.